Alright, so the next topic that we are going to discuss is GCD and LCM. So I believe you are already familiar with the acronym GCD and LCM. GCD also is known as greatest common divisor, or some textbooks call it as GCF, greatest common factor. And the other one is LCM, is the least common multiplications. Also the same when on the other textbook or reference called as SCM, highest common multiplications. Alright, we can't, in these sections I'm going to show you first how to find GCD between numbers by using or make use the prime factorizations, and then after that we are going to see how to find the GCD of few numbers by using Euclidean algorithm or Euclid algorithms. Okay, so in the previous video we already talked a little bit about the prime factorization. So prime factorizations meaning we factorize composite numbers into few prime numbers, so that we call it as a prime factorizations. For examples, if we have number 6, so the prime factorization for 6 will be 2 times 3. Or if we have 8 will be 2 to the power of 3, and then for 9 will be 3 to the power of 2, because it's 3 times 3. Another example for 12, we know that 12 will be 2 to the power of 2 times 3, because it's times 3, not times 4, times 3, because it's 2 times 2 times 3. And then another example is 20 will be 2 to the power of 2 times 5, like that. Okay, so for higher numbers later on we can just try to do manual calculations, and then I'm expecting actually this is not a new things for you, because you should get this one. You should already familiar with these prime factorizations as before. So this is just to refresh back again what do you have already before. So for now, for examples, we would like to find out to determine GCD and LCM of two composite numbers, or whatever numbers there, whether we call it as a whole number or natural number or positive integer numbers. So we just mentioned in generals two numbers, or to make it specific we call it as two integer numbers. So for examples, now we have between GCD of 6 and 8. So GCD 6 and 8, definitely we know it's 2. And then the LCM of 6 and 8 this will be 24, right? So how we can make use the prime factorization to answer these questions? So we can write down for 6 the prime factorization is 2 times 3, while for 8 that will be 2 to the power of 3. So for GCD, what we need to look at here, we look at the prime factorization for 6 and 8, which is the common prime factorizations. So in this case, we can see for 6 and 8, the common prime factorization is 2. 3 is not, because on 8 we don't have 3. So we're looking at the common prime factorizations, and then we will take the one with the smallest power. So on 6 here we have 2 to the power of 1, right? Because 1 we doesn't need to write down. While for 8 we have 2 to the power of 3 here. So we're not going to take 2 to the power of 3, but we take the one with the lowest power, which is 2 to the power of 1 here. So that will be the GCD between 6 and 8. For LCM, for LCM, so we look at the common prime factorization between the numbers, which is in this case 2, and we take the one with the highest. So it's the other way around. If GCD, we take the one with the lowest, but for LCM we take the one with the highest, which is in this case here 2 to the power of 3. So the LCM will be 2 to the power of 3 times, then we take the rest of the prime factorization, which is in this case we also have 3 here. So it's times 3 here. So the LCM will be 2 to the power of 3 is 8 times 3, that will be 24. There we go, we get the number 24. 24 for LCM and 2 and 2 for the GCD. Alright, so I will write it down here. For GCD, we take the common prime factorization with the lowest or the smallest power. That's all. But for LCM, take all the prime factorization and the one with the highest power. So it's the other way around. Okay, let's try again another examples. So now we try to find out GCD for 20 and let's call 18, and also LCM for 20 and 18. Okay, so we find the prime factorization first for 20 and 18. For 20, that will be 20 is 4 times 5, so 4 will be 2 to the power of 2 times 5. While for 18, that will be 18 is 6 times 3, so or 9 times 2. The 9 is 3 to the power of 2, so 2 times 3 to the power of 2. So that. So now we solve for GCD first. Remember what GCD said? Take the common prime factorizations with the lowest or smallest power, which is in this case, if we're looking at between 2 and 18, the common prime factorization only 2. And the smallest power is 2 to the power of 1. So the GCD will be 2. While for LCM, it says take all the prime factorization. So take all, we will write it down first. So all will be 2, and then we have 3, and then we have 5. But it says and the one with the highest power. Okay, so now we have 2. Over here we have 2 to the power of 1. Over here we have 2 to the power of 2. So we take with the highest power, which is 2 to the power of 2. Here we have 3 to the power of 2, and then we have 5. So the LCM will be 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 3 to the power of 2 is 9, and we have 5. So the LCM will be 180, like that. Okay, so it's quite simple and straightforward calculations. But if we have higher number or bigger number, this method will waste much of time to determine or find out the GCD and the LCM. For example, if we try to find for, let's see, 48 and 32. This is quite big already for manual calculations. So let's see, and also LCM 48 and 32. Now, as mentioned earlier, we find the prime factorization first. For 32, I can't remember, so we just do manual calculations. 32 is 2 times 16, and 16 is 2 times 4. So here we have 2, 4 is 2 to the power of 2, and another 4 is 2 to the power of 2. So this is exponential, 2, 2, 2, 2. Remember the rules of exponential: a to the power of m times a to the power of n. That will be a m plus n. So here we have 2, 2, 2. So we total up the power, that will be 2 to the power of 5. While for 48, 48 is 2 times 24. 2 times 24 itself will be 3 times 8, and 8 will be 2 to the power of 3. So we have here 2 and 2, so it becomes 2 to the power of 4, and then another one is 3. So we have now for 32 is 2 to the power of 5, and 48 is 2 to the power of 4 times 3. Now the GCD, for GCD, remember only the common prime factorization with the lowest power. So in this case we got 2. and the lowest power is 4, so GCD will be 2 to the power of 4, which is 16. LCM, we take all, and with the highest, so we have 2, the highest one is to the power of 5, so 2 to the power of 5, and the other prime factorization is 3. So that will be 2 to the power of 5 is 32 times 3, that will be 69. That will be 32 times 3. Hold on, yeah. Two to the power of 5 will be 32. Suddenly I get blank. 32 times 3. 69. Sorry, it's not 69 but 96. Okay. So that the LCM 96. Okay, so it takes sometimes if we try to make use this method prime factorization to try to find out or determine the GCD and the LCM. So again, imagine if the number is GCD between 1024 with 564. Wow, what will be the GCD? That will be a lot of calculations we do if we try to find out with the using the prime factorizations here. Alright, so we are going to make a use what we call as Euclidean algorithm. Alright, but this Euclidean algorithm is specifically used to find out the GCD, not the LCM. As far as I know, the implementations, one of the implementations of this Euclidean algorithm is to find the GCD. So for the LCM, it's not for this one. We will try to discuss in different section later on for LCM. So the Euclidean algorithm says given A and B, two different, let's say either we mentions integers or composite numbers, so let's just call composite numbers. So given A and B, two different composite numbers, then for D is GCD of A and B, there must be X and Y, so that D is equal to EX plus BY. Okay, so I'm using my own wordings to explain about this Euclidean algorithm. So in another way to say, if the GCD of A and B is D, then we can find two numbers so that EX plus BY. This is the numbers that, sorry, not DA, the numbers that will be exist if we can put into a mathematical equations like this. Now to do this, we have a unique, a specific method to prove or to find out this x and y, and at the same time you can find the GCD without need to determine the prime factorization first. So for big numbers like this, that will be easy for us to find what will be the GCD. At the same times, we can find out what is the x and the y numbers. Okay, so you need to more focus on this section because it's quite not complicated, but need more focus. Okay, now I will show it to you. Let's see, now we would like to find out the GCD of 258 with GC with let's call 164. Okay, 164, or not 164. Let's see 168. All right, so what will be the GCD for this one? Of course, if we are try to do it prime factorization as mentioned earlier, it will take some times, but we can try to use this method. So what we need to do is look at which one is the highest number between the two numbers. In this case, we have 258 and 168. So the highest number definitely is the 258. So what we need to do is we arrange them into 258 equal to 168 times with what number and the reminders. So what numbers here, if we multiply with 168, that will be close to 258. This is how what we are trying to count in here. So I can tell now is times by 1, because if 168 you times by 2, it's already bigger from 258. 168 times 2, that will be 336, so it's already higher than 258. So we try to find out the numbers that if we multiply with 168 will close to 258. Plus over here we put the reminders. So 168 times 1 is 168. So what will be the reminders to 258? So meaning is 258 minus 168. Then we got 90 here. Okay. So what next? What we need to do next is to do this movement 168 here. We move over here, and the 90 we move over here. So we will have 168 90 times with what number and what will be the reminders. Again, what number we multiplied by 90, so it will get close to 168. Definitely is 1 again, because if we multiply 90 with 2, we already have 180, so it's 1 again. And what is the remainder? So 168 minus 90. 168 minus 90, we will get 78, like that. Okay, so again continue do the same movement. So here will be 90, over here will be 78, times with what number, and what will be the reminders. Again, I believe is 1, because if you multiply by 2, it already exceed or bigger than 90. So what will be the remainder? From 78 to 90, we get 12. So continue again. We have 78 here, and over here will be 12 times, and what will be the reminders? So what number we times by 12? It will get us close to 78. I would say 6. So 12 times 6, that will be 72. So 72 to 78, what is our reminders? Is 6. Okay. So next, we start again, and then the 6 here. Until what number, sir? Hold on, we continue first, then I will show it to you when we are going to stop. Now here times, and then plus, and then, so what number we multiply by 6 in order close to 12? So we have here 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So what will be the remainder? 0. Here we go. This is the stopping criteria. So once we hit 0, then we stop. So what will be the GCD is this one, numbers before the 0, which is here. So this number will be the GCD of 158 and 168. Okay, so the GCD here will be 6. Got that one? Okay, so I hope you follow through the process that we just did earlier until we get the 6 as the GCD between 258 and 168. Now the next question, then so what will be the X and the Y? Because here it says for any number A and B, if D is the GCD of A and B, then there must be two numbers so that D equal to EX plus BY. Now we already have the GCD, or we already have D, so now we would like to find out the XY. So what we need to do for the XY is just to revert back the calculation starting from here to the top one here. So we revert back the calculations using this number. So we will start in this row, in the GCD, we will start in this row, because here we found the GCD 6. So we will start from here and move forward to the top. Okay, so I will do it slowly here, and please pay attention. So we will start with this number. So I will bring these numbers here. 6 equal. So next is this number. Oops, sorry. Put it here. 78. And I'm going to move this one to the here. So that will become minus. Why become minus? Because supposed to be 12 times 6 is one side with the 6 that we move over here, right? So since the position change, so that the sign change from positive to minus. All right, You got that, yeah? Okay, you got that. Try to get this one first to here. Okay, so now what next? Then we move to the top, but I would like to just do a little bit arrangement in here. Over here you see is 12 times 6, as we have here also 12 times 6, but 6 is the number that we multiply, so, or I will call that as the coefficient of 12, or the number that we multiply with 12. So instead of putting it 12 times 6, I would like to put instead not 12 times 6, but I will put 6 times 12 instead. 6 times 12. Okay. Why? You will see on the next step why I put it that way. Okay, so now we will continue this one. We already have 6 is equal to 78 minus 6 times 12. So the 6 earlier is the number that we use for the multiplications. So I will use a different color here so that you can easily see that. 6. Okay, so now after that we will move to the next line over here. We're done with this, so we move to this row. Now from this row I will highlight 12 because this is the 12 that we have. So I'm going to change this 12 using this row now. Okay, so what will be 12 in this row? So if I write down here, if I write down that, it will be 90 minus 78 times 1 equal to 12, isn't it? So I just move 78 to the other side. And this is the 12 that we would like to, this is the 12 that we would like to have. Okay, so this is how I'm going to write it down. 78 minus 6 times 12. The 12 I will change into, hold on, yeah, let me use different colors so that you can see. So the 12 will change to the one that we already have here. So that will be 90 minus is 78 minus 1, but I will write down 1 minus 78. It's the same, yeah, and the one here is the multiplied numbers. Okay, so continue. 78 minus, this one is over here and over here, isn't it? It's associative. Okay, sorry, distributive, yeah. So we will have 6 times 90, and then here we have minus become positive. 6 times 1 we get 6 times 78. So I'm not going to get the total what will be 6 times 90, no, because we need the coefficient number or the multiplications number here. Remember that we would like to find out x and y as here, so we leave it that as the multiplications number. So we're not going to calculate the total of this and this one, so leave it that is okay. So okay, let me change first because this is supposed to be, yeah, So you can see and see which one is the multiplications number. Now we solve this one. We have 78 here and we have 678 here. Remember that we always have 1 times here, yeah, because 1 never been written, because we know it always there, because 1 times 78 is just the same with 78. But that's not my point. My point here we have 178 plus 678. So we have 178 plus 678. So what we get now? We get 778. Can you imagine that? Because here 1 plus 6. 1 plus 6 we get 7. And the variable is 78, we assume. Because we assume that 7 is the coefficients. And minus 690. That's all. So that's for this row. Okay. Next, which row now we are moving? We are moving to the next one. What number we see here? 78. So we need to change our 78 in here. Okay, so if you're looking at here, what will be our 78 from here? That will be 168 minus 190 equal to 78. So this is our 78. Okay, here I change immediately 190, 1 times 90, yeah, instead of putting it as 90 times 1 over here. So now we use this row to get the 78. Okay, so what we have here is we write down first. It's 7 times our 78 is 98 minus 168 minus 190. So we have here, I will put this one, 168 minus 1 times 90, like that. Okay, minus the one that we have here, which is 6 times 90. Okay, this is supposed to be 90 blue. Okay, so we have this, then we try to simplify it again. So this one with here and this one with here. So we get what? We get 7 times 168 minus 7 times 1 will be 790 minus, sorry, I supposed to use this one, minus 690. all right, so we simplified again. So we have minus 790 minus 690, so become what? So we have first this one, we write down first for 7168 minus 790 minus 690. So 7 and 6 become 15. Yes, exactly. 15 times 90. Over here is 168. Okay, so we almost done. So equal with, remember from the top here is 6, yeah, is 6, is 6, is 6, 6, 6. It's not changed, yeah, it's 6 over there. So now we have 7 times 168 minus 15 times 90. Okay, so now what number we can get? Look at the, so here the next step to this row, we have what? 90 exactly. So we use this row now. What is 90 from this row? So that will be 258 minus 1168. So 258 minus 1168. So we will have 7 times 168 minus, here we have 15 times our 90 again, 158 minus 1168. So we have 158 minus 1168, like that. Okay, so we try to simplify it again, this one. Try to simplify it again. So we have here first 7 and then 168 minus, so to here 15 times 258, and the next negative become positive. 15 times 1, 15 times 168. All right, so almost done. So we simplified. So I will bring this one in front first because that's our higher number earlier. So it's minus, I will use this one, minus 115 times 258. Next, here we have 7168 plus 15168. So 7 with 15 we get what? 22. Sorry, I will use this one. 22 168. And that's our number, remember, 258 and 168. And over here we have 6. Now, so this is the final one because no more, right? This is already the top one. So coming back to this one, remember this GCD EX plus BY. So here we have, if we write down the Euclidean algorithm GCD, hold on, yeah, let me just write back. So GCD 258 168 equal to 258x plus 168y. So if you are looking at here, what we have, so the GCD 258 168 will be 6. And what will our x here? So our x will be minus 15, and our y will be 22. So y will be 22. Definitely if you calculate this using calculators, then this number should be correct. We can try. So I will calculate with the calculator here. First, minus 15 times 258, that will give us 3870, but minus, yeah, and then plus 22 times 168, 22 times 168, we get 3696. So the total will be 3870. hold on, 387168 22. Hold on ya, wait ya, why I get 174? Let us check where we made the mistake on the calculations here. Maybe I mistakenly do the calculations. Let's check ya. Supposed to be here is 6. Hold on, so we'll check first where we get this wrong. Okay, I will try to do it one more time. Check our calculations where it went wrong. So we will start with this row again, because this is the first one, yeah. So 6 equal to 78 minus 612. Okay, this one clean, correct. So we move to this one. So 6 equal to 78 minus 6 our 12 is 90 178. Okay, clean. So this one clean. Move to this row. So 178 minus 690 plus 678 clean. So this one okay. Here 1 with 6 we got 778 minus 690 clean. Okay, so this one clean. So next we move to 90. Our 90 here our 90 is 1258 minus 1168. Okay, so move to this one. So our 78 first. Our 78 is 1968 168 190. Okay, so this one 168 190. So we got this one clean. Next this one, let's check. 7168 minus 790 and then minus 690. So this one clean. And then next here 7168 7 and 6 we get. Oh, here we go. 7 and 6 is not 15, it's supposed to be okay, it's 13 over here, yeah? So we got it now. So it's 13. Okay, so we will sort it out. So 13 here. Okay, so this one supposed to be also 13, and this one also supposed to be 13. Okay, so now this one is not 15, but it's minus 13, and this one not 22, but 7 plus 13, what will be 20. Okay, so here is minus 13 and here is 20. Alright, now we calculate. I will calculate with calculator. This one, so this one wrong, yeah. So our calculation should be 6 equal to minus 13 258 plus 20 168. So minus 13 with 258, we got minus 3 3054 plus 20 with 60, 168 times 168, we got 3360. So minus with 3354, there we go, we get 6. Now it's complete like that. Okay, so you might say that this one looks more complex instead, rather than using the prime factorization, but I will tell you not, because as I mentioned, if we use prime factorizations, remember, the higher we have number here, the longer time we need to find out the prime factorization for each number. But by doing this method, in terms of time consuming, or which one faster to find the solution, this one will be more faster. Okay, right, so you can figure or try to replay back the video and then see the calculations or the method or the process starting from here earlier until we get the GCD and we get the X and Y. Okay, so we will try one more examples with different numbers so that you can take a look one more time. So now we try to GCD between, let's see now, small number, yeah, 58 with let's say with 24. So what will be the GCD? So we are going to make use the Euclidean algorithm. So I'm just going to use this small number so that it will be easier for you to digest it. And if you still not if you still not understand, you can just to replay back the video. Okay, so again, which number is higher is 58. So we have 58 and then 24 multiply with what number, then what will be the remainder. So 58 and 24. 24 times 2 should be okay. 24 times 2 is 48, so the remainder will be 10. Okay, so next number, we move the 24 here and the 10 will be here, times with what number and what will be the remainders. So 10 will be times 2 will close, because 10 times 2 is 20, the remainder is 4. Next, we have 10 here and we have 4 here, times with what and what will be the remainder. So we get times with 2, 8, the remainder will be 2. Next is 4 here and 2 here. So 2 times what and what will be remainder, get close to 4. Definitely 2 times 2 and remainder is 0. And there you go, we stop. When you met with 0, then we stop. So what is the GCD? As I mentioned earlier, this GCD is the one before the 0. So 2. So we got already the GCD is 2 here. Now, based on the Euclidean algorithm, we have GCD of 58, 24. Then there must be X and Y, so that 58X plus 24Y is satisfied, while the GCD we already have is 2. Now, we start again, starting from this line, the GCD line or row, and we have the CG is 2. So let's take a look the process again. So we start with 2 equal to what here, which is 10 minus 2 times 4. So the 2 here is the coefficient. So we're done with this row. We move to the next row here. What number are we looking at? 4. So we change our 4 on our iterations. So here we will have equal to 10 minus 2. What is our 4 according to that line here? That will be 24 minus 2 times 10. 24 minus 2 times 10. Okay, so we simplified this one first. 10 equal to 2 times 24. Minus minus, we get 2 times 2, 4 times 10. Okay, so we have here 110, here we have 410. So 110 plus 410, what we get? 510 minus 224. So we done the simplifications and we move to the next row. Next row here. What number we get? Yes, we get 10. So what is our 10 here? Is 58 minus 224. So we have here 5 times our 10 here, 58 minus 224. So 58 minus 224 plus, oh sorry, not plus, we have here minus 224. So minus 224. So we simplified this because this is already the top row. So we have 558 minus, sorry, 5 times minus 2, we get minus 10, 24. And then here is minus 224. So what we have? So here is 5 times 58 minus 10 minus 2, we get minus 12, 24. Okay, which is equal to the GCD. So GCD 58 and 24 equal to 58x plus 24y. So from here we already get the GCD, which is 2, but x and y, so the x will be here 5, and for y will be minus 12, like that. So if we calculate, if we want to double check whether it is correct or not, so 5 times 58, 5 times 58, we got 290 minus 12 with 24, 12 with 24, we have 288. So 290 minus 288 exactly 2, which is our GCD. So it's correct. Okay, so we have the GCD 2 and we have the x and y 5 and 12. Okay, so I believe it's enough to examples. I hope you already understand the process from these Euclidean algorithms to get the GCD, and at the same time also we can find out the x and y, so that this expressions is satisfied. If you still do not get it, try to replay back the video, especially maybe you can start replay back from here also, because this is using small number and it will be easier to follow and to check the numbers one by one. However, if still difficult for you to understand, or if there is anything that not clear here what does mean, you may ask or write your questions on the comment, or you may ask in the LMS forum as well. Okay, so I guess that is all for today. It's a quite long session for today class. Definitely we cannot continue to the rest of the discussions, so the rest of the discussions will continue to the next class next week to see another properties or things about this number theory. Okay, so definitely after this session, as usual, we have quiz. Always try your best to get high scores on the quiz, because that will give you 10% contributions to the overall mark of your of this module in the end of the semesters. So it's good if for you to make sure first that you understand all the things that discussed in today's class before you attempt the quiz. And again I remind you, if there is anything not quite clear, you may let me know and ask me first. And if all okay, then you're ready for the quiz, so make your attempt and we'll see what you get later on. Okay, so that's all, and that's all also for today, and see you on the next class, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.